What is going on, Raider? Soda Dragon here, and today I'm going to show you a modified version of one of my Bommal Hard 90 teams. So this particular team is my Ludicrous strat. So it's kind of ludicrous because I'm actually using the Dread Bombs to heal the team up. That means I want as many Dread Bombs as possible on the floor as much as possible. So I kind of reverse the mechanics of the Dread Bomb. Most people try to mitigate the damage of those Dread Bombs, but I want more of them. So how does this team work? Well, firstly, with the triple Volgoths here, they ensure that whenever a Dread Bomb goes off, I gain more net health than I lose. So the more Dread Bombs there are and the more often they are going off, the better. So what is Vrask doing here for the team? Well, he's making sure that our team lives and heals enough through Bommal's normal attacks. Now the Dread Bombs, those Volgoths have that handled, but Bommal's normal attacks hurt a lot because he's a boss, and here the Volgoth's healing passive works less for bosses than it does for non-bosses, and the Dread Bombs are considered non-bosses. So Vrask here is making sure that we live through Bommal's normal attacks. So what's Vizix's role here? Well, she's making sure there are as many Dread Bombs on the floor as much as possible. How does she do this? With her A1 that reduces turn meter. How does this make Dread Bombs appear? Well, because of this here Dread minions you see, summons one Dread Bomb every time Bommal's turn meter is decreased. Now, Vizix here will decrease Bommal's turn meter 2 times for every 1 time she uses her A1. So we're going to get a lot of Dread Bombs proccing because Vizix is just using her A1 the whole time. Once again, we want as many Dread Bombs on the floor as possible. So this is the team, guys, that I showed when Bommal first came out. So the team itself is the same, but what has changed? It's going to be the gear. So all the Volgoths have the same gear, but the gear for Vizix and Vrask has changed. So in my first video, I used Vizix in a Relentless set. Now I think Relentless is one of the best sets for Vizix, period, really, wherever you use her. But the problem with this is that a lot of people don't have good Relentless gear and you cannot farm it. You have to win it from tournaments. So for certain people, maybe you're low spenders, free to play, you don't really push that much in tournaments, you might not have that much Relentless gear. So the new change is changing out that Relentless gear for another set, a farmable set. Another problem with the Relentless set is that it is highly RNG dependent. So the more extra turns she gets, the better she'll do. But that's really based on RNG. Every turn she gets, she has an 18% chance to get an extra turn from that Relentless set. But I mean, sometimes it just doesn't proc that much, and then sometimes it procs a lot. So there's a lot of RNG involved. And previously I had Vrask in a Retaliation set. Now that is a very good set for Vrask, but just like the Relentless set, it's very RNG dependent. If he gets a lot of counterattacks, then yeah, he's going to perform really well. But what if he doesn't? So I decided to take a lot of the RNG out of the 2 sets used by these 2 champs and put sets on them that are less RNG based and farmable. And now, guys, both of them are in Frenzy. Yes, Frenzy. Yes, there is actually a use for that set. They actually do really well in a Frenzy set. So every time those Dread Bombs go off, this Frenzy set is ensuring that Vizix here and Vrask get huge boosts to their turn meter. What does this mean for Vizix? Well, she's going to proc more Dread Bombs with her A1. What does this mean for Vrask? Well, he's going to use his A1 and heal the team up. Now, yes, we are getting damaged by the Dread Bombs, but we're healing back up because of the Volgoths. But that damage still counts towards the Frenzy set, even though at the end of a Dread Bomb exploding, we have more health than less because of those Volgoths. But yeah, that's what's happening. Those bombs go off and all of a sudden we're getting huge turn meter boosts from our Vizix and our Vrask. So this team here, I would say, is much more consistent with the Relentless and the Retaliation. Sometimes it works really well and sometimes it doesn't. Here is much more consistent, but you have to have good Frenzy gear. That's the thing. So that is a re-geared team, guys, and now onto the skill instructions. So for the Volgoths, I leave them all default. Now for Vizix here, only have her use her A1, so turn off the A2 and the A3. And for Vrask, turn off his A2. His A2, though it heals everybody if he gets a crit, and you're going to build him with crit anyway, it doesn't increase his turn meter. Only his A1 does. So only have him use his A1. So guys, this is a completely full auto team from the start, but if you want, you can manual through waves 1 and wave 2 using Vizix's A2 and A3, that AoE provoke and that AoE decrease speed to kind of get through the waves faster. But if you don't want to, it is completely full auto from the start. Alright guys, on to everyone's gear stats and masteries, starting with Vrask here. So how have I geared her? I have her in a Frenzy set and an Immortal set. On to her total stats. So I have her HP at 60,000, I have the attack at 2,000, defense 3,300, speed 208, crit rate 28%, crit damage 96%, resist 194, and accuracy 342. On to our masteries. So down the offense tree here, we do have War Master, so we're getting bonus damage based off enemy max HP. And down the defense tree here, we do have Retribution, so when Vrask takes a big hit, she has a chance to counterattack with her A1, and this is against Bommal. She can't counterattack against the Dread Bombs, but she's going to counterattack against Bommal with her A1 to increase turn meter and proc more Dread Bombs. So really good for this particular fight. And here we have Deterrent, so when her teammates get CC'd, stunned for example, then she's going to rush in with her A1 once again, proccing more Dread Bombs because she's reducing Bommal's turn meter. Next up guys, we got Vrask. So how have I geared him? I have him in a Frenzy set and an Immortal set. Onto his total stats. So I have his HP at 90,000, I have the attack at 1900, defense 1600, speed 181, crit rate 102%, crit damage 131%, resist 296, and accuracy 126. Onto his masteries. So down the offense tree here, we do have War Master, so we're getting bonus damage based off enemy max HP. And down the defense tree here, we do have Retribution, just like with Vrask. So when Vrask takes a big hit, he has a chance to counterattack with his A1, which is going to heal everybody up, including himself. And here we also have Deterrence, so when his teammates are CC'd, he has a chance to rush in there with his A1 and just heal everybody up. Alright guys, on to the Volgoths. Now they're all geared similarly, so I'm just going to show you one of them. So how have I geared them? I have them in Regeneration and Immortal sets. On to his total stats. So his HP I have at 76,000, I have the attack at 1600, I have the defense at 2600, speed 149, crit rate 44%, crit damage 116%, resist 267, and accuracy 96. Onto his masteries. So down the offense tree here, we do have Giant Slayer, so we're getting bonus damage based off enemy max HP. And down the defense tree here, we do have Retribution, so when Volgoth takes a big hit, he has a chance to counterattack with his A1, hopefully proc that Giant Slayer. And we do have Deterrence here as well, so when his allies are CC'd, he has a chance to rush in with his A1 to counterattack the enemy. Alright guys, that is it for today. Now, if you don't have 3 Volgoths, don't worry, you should be able to substitute one of the Volgoths for another healer, whether that's Seal of the Drakes or somebody like a Doom Priest. But I would just say keep at least 2 Volgoths. They really help mitigate the damage from those Dread Bombs. So definitely try to keep 2 Volgoths on your team, and if you don't have a third, it's okay, just use another healer. Let me know in the comments if you plan to use this team or what team you use to beat Bommal Hard 90. And if you haven't yet, like, subscribe, and share, turn on all notifications, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video.